Hey guys, welcome to Love, Life, and Politics, where I talk about love, life, and mostly politics. As usual, I leave the links down in the descriptions below for all the people that I tend to listen to throughout the week. I try to get many different perspectives, intellectual perspectives, conservative ones, liberal ones, libertarian ones. I try my best to make sure that I don't just hear myself in an echo chamber, and I think that everybody else should as well. Anyways, three things I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel's blackface apology, shootings in Chaz/Chop, and the Trump rally. That's what I'm talking about today. Anyways, without further ado, let's start. First thing I want to talk about is Jimmy Kimmel's blackface apology. If you guys didn't know, Jimmy Kimmel has had a dicey history when it comes to PC characteristics, so to speak. He's one of those forefront voices and, trying to downplay or say that Trump is a racist and trying to paint people based on their previous actions that at the time weren't considered to be dicey or out of the ordinary. And he has been caught in quite a bit. He was caught saying some pretty dicey things to females. I forgot the name of the show that he was on, but during the Me Too movement, he got blasted for it because he was telling girls to put their hands down his pants and stuff like that. And at the time, it was just funny, just to make fun, and it was funny. But he had to then apologize for it whenever it became politically not so good for him to have something like that in his past unaddressed, kind of like what they did to Kevin Hart. But now with this Black Lives Matter going through and blackface and all that stuff, new stuff has emerged, and this stuff is juicy. You know that the left is having a field day with this, and they're not afraid to come after their own. In fact, they enjoy coming after their own to kind of, I would say, protect themselves from scrutiny. But it's like even Obama said, it's a circular firing squad. Somebody's gonna shoot you too, bud, and he's getting shot right now. Video has surfaced it was funny back in the day. I forgot the name of the basketball player, but he was tall, bald, buff, and he played him. And the guy was black, so he had to brown in himself up. And then there's another one, him dressed up as Oprah, browned up, tap dancing on a Mexican maid, and it was like, whew, pretty crazy. And then there's another one where he's making a song and pretending to be Snoop Dogg, and he says the N-word multiple times in it. And right now, due to the political environment that's happening right now, they're roasting for him. They're coming after him, and they're attempting to cancel him. And as a conservative, I do not believe in this whole cancel culture, so to speak. I think that people should not be judged on the mistakes that they've made in the past, especially if they've grown from them, as well as the fact that you have to look through the lens of what the hell was going on back then. Back then, black people weren't crybabies. Back then, liberals weren't being crybabies for black people. Funny things were funny, and you didn't try to insinuate malintent on someone when they're trying to just make a joke and be funny. It wasn't insensitive to wear a darkened face and be funny. Now, when people are looking for ways to be victims, it's now become, okay, we need to find everything that you've ever done that could potentially offend someone, bring it back so we can exact revenge on you for the quote-unquote mistakes that you made in the past that were not mistakes back then in the past and only looked as mistakes now. You know what I mean? Anyways, and his apology, in his apology, he essentially tries to make a slight dig at Trump in the way that he phrases it. He's like, in a political environment when people are trying to divide us. I'm like, good gosh, you idiot. Like, you can tell that an apology isn't legit when you're trying to take shots at other people in the middle of the apology. What is up with liberals and not being able to take responsibility for their actions without trying to bury somebody else? It's like, good gosh, you didn't mess up, and it's your fault that we're living in a climate that you even would have to apologize anyways, because you allowed these extremist PC cultures to take over every industry instead of saying, nah, we're trying to be funny. Stop that. Stop being crybabies, grow a pair of balls, be a big kid, sticks and stones don't break your bones. That stuff. Words should not should not be affecting people like this, especially when they're made to make people laugh. Like, grow a pair. And I hope, I'm conflicted in this, because as a conservative, like I've said, I don't think people should be canceled for the things that have happened in the past. But kind of how we do with Joe Biden, I want them to be held to the standards that they want other people to be held to. I want them to be held to the standard that they have tried to enforce upon others. So I want him to be canceled for his past, because he has advocated for others to be canceled for less. And hopefully, with more people eventually saying, wow, this guy's an awesome guy, I like him, he's being canceled, they'll start to be like, okay, maybe this whole cancel culture thing is ridiculous. It's dumb. It's going too far. Like, you've come after Kevin Hart, for Pete's sakes. Kevin Hart. Everybody loves Kevin Hart. Jimmy Kimmel, I think he's pretty lame, but I mean, you're going after him too. People are gonna start being like, okay, this is ridiculous, and then you're gonna get one of those pendulum swings. Right now, you swung way too far to the left, and then now you're gonna swing way too far in the other direction, where people are just gonna say whatever the F they want without any regard at all for other people at all. It doesn't matter if they're trying to be funny or not. They're gonna be like, you know what? I'm tired of people trying to tell me what to say. I'm just gonna say whatever offends whoever, just to say it, just so I can show you that I don't give an F about what you're saying. And that's what's gonna happen. But that's the world that you guys created. That's the world we're gonna live in, I guess. Second thing I want to talk about is the shootings in Chaz/Chop. This has pretty much got like slight airtime, no airtime, depending on where you're at. The media has been trying to paint Chaz as this amazing little, the mayor, what did they call it? Hopefully that they have like a summer of love. They're essentially saying this is just a block party, nothing serious. It's not armed people, with guns over here, blah, 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 blah. Even though we've got intel that they're extorting people are being raped in this area, and cops are not allowed to go in there. And there was an incident this weekend. Apparently, what is it, like 4 shootings in 3 days, and I think 2 dead at this point. And the cops that were trying to go in there were essentially being stopped. These people were legitimately keeping the emergency services from coming in there and helping these individuals, as well as investigating what the heck happened. And in some cases, what's his name? That idiot rapper. What is his name? I forgot it. Clearly is not that relevant to me. But he's got a video out there with the paramedics kind of out there, and he's like, if this was your son, you would get there. You would run through these people. You would get there. And he's like, no, you got to think about it. You guys have gotten rid of cops in this area. This person is not going to go risk his life and potentially the life of the person he's going to save when there's no cops and no law and order. They can go in there trying to help, and then somehow, some way, they all end up dying, including the person that they went in there to save. Because of the environment that you have fostered, you're supposed to be independent. Why the F were you trying to get a separate country to come in and solve your problems for you? What happened to you guys being independent, huh? You're stupid. These people are stupid. And I think that the mayor and everybody in government right now, especially that is directly involved with this, that has essentially allowed it to happen, tried to make excuses for it, deflected from what is actually happening in this area, they need to be held to account for all the lives that are lost. If people were in there doing what they needed to do to begin with, this would not be an issue. And people out there, conservatives, that are saying Trump needs to just come in here and restore law and order, you gotta think about it. You guys want a separation of the states and the federal government. If you guys are wanting Trump to step in at whenever the liberals are doing something stupid and not taking care of their people, you're not staying consistent with what you believe. I think Trump is playing this smart. When they ask for his help, or when something reaches to a point that there's no way, shape, or form that he can not do something about it, he will step in. And I think that is right for him to do so. I think the American people need to see what happens when you let Democrats do their due. Let Democrats run their course. This is what happens. They make excuses for people who are dying and murdering and being lawless. And Trump is the one that is the president of law and order. And I can understand why some conservatives are like, he's supposed to be the guy who jumps in. No, you got to think of it tactfully. You do not want him just going in and fixing liberals' problems without them asking. They're going to find a way to spin it, and then they're going to use it to their advantage so that he doesn't get elected and doesn't actually have the chance to fix things for the next 4 years. Especially now, we need somebody who is good on the economy like he is to stay in power. But I do think eventually, if things keep on going in this direction, it might reach that point where, okay, you know what? I need to make an example of this. These people need me to step in and actually start sending in the National Guard and cleaning up the liberals' messes. It's liberal cities where all this is happening. You ever notice that? All these shootings that they keep on saying are absolutely horrible. They're happening in Democrat-run cities. How is that? That the most Democrat places are the ones where apparently the most injustices towards blacks are happening? Huh? And they try to make it Trump's problem. They put it on Trump's leg. They're idiots. People need to wake up and start seeing what they're trying to pull on you, because they really, really, really have you guys warped. They have you exactly where they want you. You consistently try to blame the opposite party that has no control over your area. Like, vote somebody else in and see how things go. Seriously, just try it. Like Trump said in 2016, you got nothing to lose. And man, did black people feel and do a lot better under Trump than they did under any other president. Just facts, though. People don't like him, but that's the truth. And then finally, Trump's rally. So he had his rally in, I think it was Oklahoma. I'm not really good with the states. And the left was losing their mind over it. And then it happened. And then they were losing their minds over it because he didn't get the crowd that he said he was going to get. Something about TikTok influencers being the ones that fake tickets or what, something dumb. They're like, yeah, nobody showed up. It was only like 2/3 of the entire venue. Like, Trump does not have the pizzazz that he had before. His support is waning. Yeah. We're in the middle of a quote unquote pandemic right now. Maybe I shouldn't say quote unquote. Maybe we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. A lot of people are being told to stay home, and a lot of people are staying home. I think very, very fervent, not really worried about COVID. Trump supporters are the ones that showed up. But you better believe that Trump still got it. A lot of people are saying it was an amazing speech. He did a really good job. He's really good in terms of being able to show out. Like he knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to get people going, getting people happy, getting people cheering. You know, he's an entertainer. We got an entertainer president that is also good at making sure that when he says something, it actually ends up happening. And they were like, oh my God, only 6,000. Oh my God, only 6,000. But you won't hear from the media is that he has broken all types of records. Maybe not all types. Confirmed is the record for on Fox alone. 7.7 million people tuned in. It broke the record for the time slot that it was airing. Completely shattered it. Just to put it into perspective, like NFL drafts are rocking the same numbers. And when you actually factor in all the other people that were streaming it, other networks, and combine that, they're projecting it was more like 12 to 13 million people tuned in to this rally. 12 million. Okay, you didn't hear that? 12 million. I think that's about 1/6 of the number of people that voted for him. If 1/6 of people watched his rally, and that's how much he got last time, and in terms of like 1/6, like the full, like what, 64? Is it 64 million people voted for him, and he's got 1/6 watching one rally? Bro, y'all in for it. 2020 is going to be crazy. Do not. Actually, I'm not going to tell you do not. If any of my liberal listeners, I'm fine with you guys underestimating him again. I'm really fine with that. Hubris is going to get you. And I hope that I would love for you guys to think that you got it again and then lose again and lose your minds again. And it would be nice also for you to, treat the competition with some respect and actually, think and assume that they're better than what you think they are, so that you don't, work less than you should have to defeat him, because that's exactly what happened in 2016. But Hillary was a more unlikable character, and I think Joe has a little bit of a nostalgic feel to him. African Americans loved their Obama, liberals loved their Obama, even though he didn't really do anything for either of those people. But regardless, I think Trump is going to win, especially since the economy is bouncing back right now, and especially since all he's going to have to do when that campaign rolls around is just put clips together of the riots, and then right after that showing how the liberals were describing these quote-unquote protests, how they completely ignored the violence and chaos and didn't give those who deserve punishment for them punishment, and were making excuses for this while other people's businesses were being burned down, people were being killed, and so forth. That's all he has to do is like, hey, this is what the Democrats are about. Show a picture of Chaz, and then the mayor saying, oh, we'll just have a summer of love. Just put a nice cut together. And I'm telling you, the American people, if whatever they're consuming, their news or ads allows it to actually play, they're gonna start thinking, wow. Especially suburban white women, which is apparently a very important, not apparently, I say apparently a lot, is a very important voter bloc. They don't like chaos. They like law and order. They like consistency. They like things to be non-hectic, non-crazy. And if he is able to effectively label the Democrats what they are, which is the party of chaos, the party of letting people riot, the party of making excuses for those who are breaking the law, man, he's going to be able to pull out an even bigger margin this time around than he did last time. That's a simple fact. The left has lost its mind, and those who make excuses for people doing wrong, they're dumb. I wouldn't say they're horrible, because a lot of them are just ignorant. And I have lots of liberal friends, but I am lucky. I am lucky that the friends that the people I know and I'm friends with and I'm acquainted with, I would say most of them, and maybe not most of them, at least half of them are what I would call intelligent liberals. Okay, they're not leftist, and they're not just liberals. They're intelligent liberals. They actually try, or it seems they try to ingest multiple types of news and know what the heck they're talking about. And it's nice to see that. And I think that more conservatives need to be like that, even though naturally we're just more fact-based and less feelings-based than the left. And I think more liberals need to do that as well. But yeah, those are three major stories that kind of happened this week. Thank you for listening. I currently don't have any ways of getting much streams of income to grow the channel, so I wrote a book back in, was it 2017 or 2018, about it's titled Why I, Young Black Man, Voted for Trump. If you guys want to support the channel, go check out that book, leave a good review, tell your friends to get it for somebody else, and I'll be able to use that money to grow this channel to a position where I can actually have more people on, start actually getting video going, stuff like that. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for listening to me. I hope you have a blessed one and stay safe.